Hi everybody. Okay, so this is the second lesson um, for when we would have been doing it on a Wednesday. Wednesday, what was it? Wednesday the 23rd. So this is I'm in the wrong bit. I'm going to do this again. Oh dear me. There we go, up here. So right, start again. Okay, so this is a lesson, a brief lesson actually. There's more work for you to do this time on a poem called Fate Playing. It is on page 31 of birthday letters. I'm hoping that you've already watched and made the notes and everything on the one to do, which was called Machine and what's the other one? The Visit. Is that right? Yeah, I think so. Anyway, you should do this one. Oh no, sorry, Machine and Fidelity. That's right. So you should, if you haven't watched the video on Machine and Fidelity, do that one first, then come to this one. That's what you're going to do. So basically, I'm going to tell you a little bit of background information about the poem. I'm going to read the poem to you, and then there's some work for you to do based on the poem, which should probably take you about 30 minutes, 35 minutes, something like that. And then, and what I'd really like you to do is to come back to the lessons when we're back in school with your notes that you've made on this, so we can share as a class very quickly at the beginning of next lesson. Okay, I mean the next time we have a physical lesson. I'm going to be doing one more PowerPoint and video based on feminist theory based on feminist theory in your NEA, and I'm hoping to do one on You Hated Spain and Your Paris as well tomorrow at some point. Okay, so Fate Playing. So immediately then we're thinking about the title, and obviously the title Fate, we know that fate seems to play a really large role in this collection. Hughes sometimes seems to be suggesting that he and Plath were fated to be together, or that fate played a big part in it, but that might also just be reflecting Plath's ideas, because Plath also sort of saw them as being fated to be together. She actually talks about them being, before they met, as being two, not fully whole, and it was only when they met that they became one person. And the inevitability of their relationship, and also the inevitability of the failure of their relationship, is a theme that comes up a lot in his poetry and indeed in hers. So that's the first thing we're saying. So I'm thinking about the word playing, like, is fate playing with them? Is it they playing with fate? It's ambiguous, isn't it? Okay. So the poem recalls an event that Plath actually also wrote about. And what happened was that she was Hughes had gone home to Yorkshire, to his family home, and she was due to meet him. And for some reason, she thought that he was coming on the bus, but in fact, he wasn't. He was coming on the train. So when she went to meet him off the bus, he wasn't there, and she kind of freaked out. She kind of went crazy, because she was frantically trying to find him, rushing around London, yelling, screaming, "Where is he? Where is he?" And until somebody I think maybe she decided it or something, persuaded the taxi driver who was there to take her to King's Cross Station, hoping that he'd be there. She was literally screaming and yelling. When she gets to King's Cross Station, there he is. And she writes in her journal, "He looked like the most beautiful, dear person in the world. Everything began to shine, and the taxi driver sprouted wings, and all was fine." Like, it's this kind of miracle, So she's gone from the depths of despair, yelling and crying and wailing because he's not on the bus, to this kind of sort of sublime, euphoric joy when he's there. And you can see it in her writing there, this kind of way that she makes it sort of like a religious experience, where the taxi driver is like an angel. Hughes's poem about it is slightly less positive and enthusiastic, and a little bit darker, really, as you'll see. So I'm going to suggest that you stop the video now and go and read the poem for yourself, first of all. Like I say, it's on page 31. Go and read that for yourself, and just just do like a quick reading, like we do, to get a general sense of it, and then come back and I'll read it to you as well, and then I'm going to set you some work to do on it. Okay, so pause the video now and go and read it, and then when you come back, I'll read it for a second reading. You can listen to that. Okay. Okay, so fate playing. Because the message somehow met a goblin, because precedents tripped your expectations, because your London was still a kaleidoscope of names and places any jolt could scramble, you waited mistaken. The bus from the north came in and emptied, and I was not on it. No matter how much you insisted and begged the driver, probably with tears, to produce me or to remember seeing me, just missed getting on, I wasn't on it. 8 in the evening and I was lost and at large somewhere in England. You restrained your confident inspiration and did not dash out into the traffic milling around Victoria, utterly certain of bumping into me where I would have been walking. I was not walking anywhere. I was sitting unperturbed in my seat on the train, rocking towards King's Cross. Somebody, calmer than you, had a suggestion. So, when I got off the train, expecting to find you somewhere down at the root of the platform, I saw that surge and agitation, a figure breasting the flow of released passengers. Then your molten face, your molten eyes, and your exclamations, your flinging arms, your scattering tears, as if I had come back from the dead against every possibility, against every negative but your own prayer, to your own God. There I knew what it was to be a miracle. And behind you, your jolly taxi driver, laughing like a small god to see an American girl being so American, and to see your frenzied chariot ride sobbing and goading him and pleading him to make what you needed to happen, succeeded so completely thanks to him. Well, it was a wonder that my train wasn't earlier, even much earlier, that it pulled up late the very moment you erupted onto the platform. It was natural and miraculous and an omen confirming everything you wanted confirmed. So your huge despair, your cross-London panic dash and now your triumph splashed over me like love 49 times magnified, like the first thunder cloud burst engulfing the drought in August, when the whole cracked earth seems to quake and every leaf trembles and everything holds up its arms, weeping. Okay, so on the next page here, next slide rather, you can see here's some tasks that I want you to do. So there's these 7 on here, and then there's another one on the next page. No, another 2 on the next page. So there's 9 tasks I want you to complete, okay? So, yeah, so get some paper now, get a better pen, freeze the screen, pause the video, freeze the screen, and write down your answers for these. Make sure you write fate playing at the top of the page. Make sure you write the question. Make sure you write the answers underneath the question, and then and bring them into school next time. Okay. So to see the next bit, you'll just have to unpause it. Once you've done these 7, you'll just have to unpause the video and move it forward to here, like this. And I think that'll work, won't it? Yeah. What I'll do is I'll post this PowerPoint without me talking on it as well into files, so you've got access to it that way. And then you might be able to copy and paste as well if you're typing the answers. Okay. And then we'll have a talk. We'll discuss it when we're back in class. Really, I don't want to say too much about it. I'm trying to see how much you can do by yourselves. There's obviously lots to say. There is a lot written about this on the internet, but I would really counsel against not going there just yet. Just write the answers to these questions, then we'll talk about it. If you decide this is one of the poems that you want to write about for your coursework, then obviously I can direct you to some deeper analysis of it later on. Okay, but these 9 questions that I've written for you should be the ones that should be, if you answer those 9 questions, then you will have by default analysed the poem really well, actually. Okay then, so enjoy. Bye.